fair, in the opening few minutes, we've actually not been able to hold the ball too well, but now we will. Great turn, Josh King! And he will score the first Premier League goal for Bournemouth as he runs to celebrate with the fans. And to say as well that Phillips' job in this team is really to stop the other team from crafting moves. What a ball through from Maddison towards Josh King! It's number 2 for Bournemouth. And Josh King has his second of the game. Ryan Fraser, what a pass in towards Maddison. What a touch as well by James Maddison. And he makes it 3-0. He's trying to get in down the left-hand side, and he's in the penalty area of Sheffield United, pulling it back. Ryan Fraser, and it's 4-0 Bournemouth. Josh King's going to claim it for the hat-trick. Bournemouth 4, Sheffield United 0. Josh King with a hat-trick in our first Premier League game. He was brilliant today. Hello everybody, what's going on? Welcome back to episode number 3 today of our FIFA 20 Career Mode series. A massive thank you for all of the support shown on our first 2 episodes, which we uploaded yesterday. I can't ask for any more than what you guys are giving me at the moment, so a huge thank you for that as well. Just before we start today though, if I sound different, I've only gone and got myself a cold, so if I do sound different, that's the reason why. Hopefully it will shift in the next couple of days, and hopefully it won't affect the videos too much either. But if I sound any different, then that's why. But without further ado, let's start today's episode off. We've got a game coming up right away against Leicester City, which hopefully we'll get a result in, because after our first 3 Premier League games, we find ourselves 12th place at the moment, mid-table. We played Sheffield United last episode, beat them 4-0. We played Villa, drew 1-1, and then lastly, played Manchester City, where they put out an interesting team to say the least, and they were still able to beat us by 1-0. Although, felt a little bit hard done by in that game. Of course, we picked up a red card as well to James Maddison in that one, so maybe it'd have been different if we'd have had 11 players on the pitch. But just to let you guys know, I've seen somewhere that EA were meant to have fixed the issue of the top teams playing like academy players against you. It doesn't seem to be the case, because it's still happening. So I might have to have a play around whenever we come up against like the top teams to make sure they're playing their strongest 11. I don't know if it affects sort of the mid-table teams, the lower end teams. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what Leicester City put out against us for our first game. But yeah, EA have not fixed that. And another thing as well, I actually looked back and I believe that the pre-match press conferences aren't available on every single game. I think they only appear for specific games throughout the season. So you don't get the opportunity to have one before every single match, but you do get a post-match interview after every match. So you can use that to help your squad morale up, if you will. And one thing to note as well, I've simmed a couple of days closer to this Leicester City game. And you might remember, we had all green in our squad morale when I left you off last time. And that's gone down since we've simmed a couple of days. So only David Brooks currently with the only smiley face there, which means he, at the moment, is the only player to actually be given a boost to his attributes. So I'm hoping we'll get a pre-match press conference so I can try and bump up quite a few of the other players in this one. So let's see if that is actually going to be the case. I also saw a comment as well saying that Travers has been playing for Bournemouth, so we are going to throw him onto our bench instead of Ramsdale. And I think my squad's looking pretty good ahead of this Leicester City game. Obviously, Callum Wilson will come back in. Josh King will drop slightly deeper. Maddison out of the bench through that red card, and on comes Abraham. It's now time for our first game of today. Current transfer window record has just been smashed as well, as Spurs have accepted a £95 million bid for Heung-min Son from Real Madrid. So he has gone to the Santiago Bernabeu, and he looks like an incredible player this year in FIFA as well, does Son. 5-star weak foot, I believe, too. So if you're looking for a player when you're a big team, Son could be your man. Unfortunately, a little bit out of our price range here at Bournemouth, if you will. But there is no pre-match press conference ahead of the game against Leicester. So I think ultimately we're just going to go straight into this. Luckily, Josh King's morale's gone up a little bit as well, so he's going to be slightly boosted ahead of this one. Rico's morale's down, which is costing him to lose a bit of attributes. So I'm going to put him on the bench and might get him on for a game, for some of the game. And I think ultimately that's going to be what we go with. So Leicester City, they've not won any of their opening 3 games so far in this Premier League season. Can we go to the King Power Stadium and come away with the 3 points? That is the big aim. Is that Januzaj? I believe that's Januzaj on the left-hand side. Anyway, ultimate difficulty as always. Let's head into this one. Fingers crossed we'll come away with the victory. It's going to be a big, big game, this, because, you know, arguably, I want to be winning the games that I feel we should win. I felt we should have beat Villa. We drew with them. We lost some points there. Feel like the way Leicester have started, we probably should win this one. It could be important when it comes to us trying to get this top half finish this season. Leicester City's starting 11 then involves Benkovic at centre-back, Justin at right-back, Thomas Ndidi and Prayat in the midfield, or Prayat, Januzaj, Vardy and Diabate as the front three. Evans on the bench, I believe I saw there, so yeah, not too bad. I mean, maybe it's not quite their strongest 11, so again, is it because they're not playing them, or are they injured? I don't actually know, because, yeah, last episode, of course, Villa didn't play Grealish. It didn't end up mattering for them. They still got a point. But they really should have been, as Callum Wilson starts his first game for me as Bournemouth manager in the Premier League. We're looking at him to grab the goal for us that could well win us the game. Here is Josh King, finds Callum Wilson. Wilson gets in behind, and Callum Wilson, it's taken him 8 minutes for him to grab his first goal for me. I mean, it's Josh King who links it up. Tell you what, since that opening game, Josh King hasn't really done too much, has he? He got a hat-trick against Sheffield United. I believe it was Lewis Cook, wasn't it, who scored our goal against Villa? But this is nice from Josh King. Lays the easy pass in, and Wilson on the turn gets it on the left foot and smashes it in the top corner past the Leicester City goalkeeper. Again, you question why Schmeichel isn't in there. Maybe that's a problem. Here is Vardy looking to turn and maybe get a shot away, and he's done just that. Except it's gone wide from Jamie Vardy. Has not had much luck trying to get in behind us, so dropped a little bit deeper there to receive the pass. Took the turn. I gave him a little bit too much time, really, to allow him to get the shot away. And luckily for us, it's gone wide and it hasn't hit the target. But if we do that again, then maybe, just maybe, he will find the back of the net. We have to be a bit quicker closing him down. Luckily, we get away with it that time. Half-time whistle here from the King Power Stadium. Not a lot to separate the two teams, but one shot apiece, really. Callum Wilson scoring. On the other side of that, Jamie Vardy striking just wide. He's had 3 attempts in that first half. Wilson scored one of them. The other 2, not really worthy of showing you. It was like we mistimed it completely and it just P-rolled out for a goal kick. So, half-time, 1-0 in front here. And things looking pretty good, but still a big 45 minutes to come in the second half. Wilson, good little touch that as he finds Josh King. King looking to place it. Oh, and it's a brilliant finish from Josh King. Second half back underway. And it's a quick start to it for us as well. Josh King sets up Wilson initially in this game, and he's got himself one as well. Really, really nicely done. Actually, it's the two of them combining again this time. It's the other way around. Wilson towards King. It's that first touch there. He sets himself, and he really only has one thought in his mind, and that's to try and place it in the corner. Has a little look and says, all right, I'm going for it. And it's a fantastic finish as well from Josh King. Bournemouth 2, Leicester City 0 at the King Power Stadium. My celebrations there. And it looks like Leicester's poor start to the season is going to continue, as that's Josh King's 4th goal of the Premier League season in 4 games. Phillips towards Callum Wilson. Wilson plays easy ball to Josh King. Continues his run as well. Gets it back from Josh King. Callum Wilson for number 3. It's saved by Jakupovic. I sincerely hope I'm getting that right, but I'm probably not by the sounds of that. If I am, then fantastic. If I'm not, I apologise. But a great save nonetheless to stop us from going 3 in front here. And Jamie Vardy is looking like a very frustrated figure for Leicester City at the moment, because he just can't get the service. There's the ball in though. Ake will win the header. He's trying to make things happen for Leicester, but there's just nothing coming for him. Josh King finds Wilson. There's 2 minutes left to play here as we go in search for number 3. King fake shot, still got possession as well. And he looks now to turn. Brilliant stuff from Josh King. Can he finish? No, he can't. Did everything right. And it's just the finish that he needs to get right. And he can't do it. Should have been 3. It should have been his 5th of the season. But he's dragged his shot wide and added time. 2 minutes added on here. We're into the last minute of that. And it's looking like it's going to be a 2-0 victory away from the King Power Stadium for us. Heading into this form-wise, I would have said maybe a draw, but instead we've come away with the full 3 points. Wilson and King combined for both of the goals. They get 1 apiece as well, and you can't really ask for much more than that. And with Maddison to return to the team too, who drops out? Because I have no idea. Got our post-match interview to do then, and as you can see, the reporters asked coming into this one, there wasn't much between your side and Leicester City. Did you have any doubts you come away with the win? I'm going to say, well, actually, looking at the 3 options here, we're far from perfect, would be bad. We always prepare for the worst is just dumb, because that's going to get morale down. I'm going to say AFC Bournemouth always wins. didn't really do too much. I always expect to win. The only real question is by how much. Quite a resounding victory today with a 2-0 score. How pleased are you with your team's performance? Of course, I'm going to hype them up and say we can do even better. Time to focus on the next match. We could have won by more. We could have won by more. Why not? And that's got them to happy. And Didi was one of the best players on the opposition today. How difficult was it to find a way past Leicester's defensive lineup? I'm going to say we just played our game. Because we did, really. And we won the game. So it wasn't that difficult. But anyway, thank you. Not taking any more questions. Post-match interview done. Hopefully that's given us a bit of morale heading into our next game. And I have absolutely no idea who that is. But we've actually got deadline day right here. So there is still time for some other deals to happen. Now, I have taken into account, I've looked through the first 2 episodes at any signings you guys want me to make. But obviously, at the moment, outside of the signings that I already made happen, the ones I wanted to do, I've only got £12 million to spend. So I think I'm going to keep the suggestions from the first 2 episodes till at least January, maybe even next season, and we can make them happen. Like, for example, Haaland, you know, the striker, who scored a hat-trick in the Champions League. He was heavily liked comment on episode number 1, but I don't think I'd be able to afford him. And to be fair, where would he even fit in my team? Because with Wilson and King, currently the way they're playing, I don't know. I don't know where he'd fit in, but he's definitely somebody I'm looking at, and we'll see if we'll make that happen in January. We have got 1 hour left in deadline day, and at the moment, Heung-min Son's transfer to Real Madrid is the highest value deal. In terms of what's been going on deadline day, though, we can kind of see as I scroll down here who's been going where. And at the moment, to be fair, there's not that many recognizable ones. Dominic Calvert-Lewin's gone to Monaco, I guess. I don't know how I feel about that one because Everton maybe didn't want to play him. I don't know. Orban's gone to Villarreal. Troy Deeney to Sassuolo. Otamendi to Spurs, which is kind of an interesting one. As you can see, as I scroll down here, Damian's gone to Parma, and keep going and see what's what. But there is some really interesting deals that have come through as well. So I'm going to take a quick look actually at it by team. So as you can kind of see, as we get through this, we have spent £38 million on 3 players, but let go of 21 million. If we look at Arsenal, they brought in Çalhanoğlu and Duarte, let go of Bellerin. That's the big one to look at. They've also, if we look to Villa, they've brought in 3 and let go of nobody. Brighton have spent £55 million on Zinchenko, Hughes and Campagna. Burnley spending 51, Dolberg coming in as the big name there alongside Hugo Mayo. Chris Wood and Tarkowski have both left. Chelsea, this is one of the bigger teams that have spent money. Belotti, remember, I thought they had a transfer ban, but it doesn't seem to be the case unless you, of course, control them and make them have a transfer ban. Palace have let go of Zaha. Has he gone out? So where has Zaha gone then? Townsend, Van Aanholt all leaving as well. As I believe Max Aarons has gone in there. Leicester have brought in £75 million worth of talent, let go of 58. Liverpool buying 2, Visialko and Werner. Look at Manchester City spend Kimpembe, Royce, Immobile and Hector for £175 million. That's a lot of money. United spending £63 million as well. And as I keep scrolling, you can kind of see who's done what. But I want to see where Zaha's actually gone because I have no idea where he will have actually have gone for quite cheap, to be fair. So let's have a quick look at that. Actually ended up going to Bayer Leverkusen, so he's no longer in the Premier League. We haven't got to worry about playing against Wilfried Zaha, but that is a big loss for Crystal Palace, and that might be potentially what could sink them into a relegation fight this season. I'm not sure about that. We're going to have to wait and see how it plays out, but that's going to do us for this first transfer window. Then the summer window shuts with those deals being completed. We've got some squad monthly reports to go through and all that good stuff, so I'll be back in a second. We have found some really good young players out of those squad reports. We've got Arthur Van Dam here, a 63 rated cam from Belgium. Not quite ready to go into the first team. He's only 15, but 6'2" as well, so he could be one to watch for the future. But Peter O'Donnell is actually ready to go into the first team, 65 rated as well, potential of 70 to 94 at 17 years of age. So we're going to promote him and see how he progresses too. We have been drawn against Bury at home in the Carabao Cup, but to end off today's episode, we face Everton next, followed by Southampton, and they will be the final 2 games for today. Of course, once we get out of EA Access and I have unlimited time, I'll be playing 4 games an episode rather than the 3 that you're seeing at the moment, but because of the fact that we're limited with time, I want to try and use it as much as I can in order to get you guys daily videos out ahead of the game actually officially releasing on the 24th. So, Everton 4 is up next. Again, squad morale's gone down ahead of this one, so a little bit concerning, but Maddison can come back onto the bench for it. And Lerma's also grown to 80 rated too. This is unsurprising really, but Josh King has grabbed the August Player of the Month award. His 4 goals in his first 4 games is enough to grab him the award there. We'll see if he can keep up with his good form ahead of this game against Everton. Now, the question is, where are Everton at the moment? They are in 11th. 2 wins, 2 losses from their opening 4 games. Chelsea top in the league, Spurs second, Newcastle doing well, Brighton doing well, Sheffield United above us as well. It's been an interesting start to this season, it really has. And I wonder how much it's affecting the other teams, you know, the big teams, because I can't really change their teams around against anyone else apart from myself. So if they're continuing to play with bad players against every other team as well, they're not going to have a good year. So it could be quite an interesting first season unless EA patch this. But for us, our 11 looks like this. Maddison can only return to the bench because of Josh King and Wilson keeping him out of the team. And I don't want to drop him into a midfield role. Lerma comes in for Calvin Phillips. And I believe other than that, we are unchanged. So let's head into this against Everton. Fabian Delph starting. What are we going to see from their team? At the moment, I'm going to try and error, see what's what, and then see if I need to actually use my controller ahead of next episode. Because I'm not actually even sure what Everton's strongest team is, to be honest. But I guess I'll find out when we head into this. Alright, so here is the Everton 11. Mampala starts up front. Balassi, Sigurdsson, Richarlison, Schneiderlin, Gambin. Is it Jabamin? I don't actually know. Delph, Feeney, Keane, Holgate, and Pickford start. So really, outside of that, maybe Moise Keane up front, Iwobi. They're the only 2 other players that I spring to mind immediately. But we'll see how it goes, this one. And Lewis Cook finds the ball out towards Ryan Fraser, who should keep it in and does. And now he gets a chance to turn Mason Holgate, which he's done. Still continues here, Ryan Fraser. Ball through towards Lewis Cook again, who's in behind. And Lewis Cook smashes it in the top corner. Bournemouth 1, Everton 0. But it's all about Ryan Fraser, who really creates it. I mean, it's a good move, isn't it? Cook starts it off with the pass out towards Fraser. He turns inside of Mason Holgate, continues centrally, sees the run coming in from Lewis Cook. It's not the best first touch in the world, but the second one is very good. And he smashes it home, and we take the lead at the Vitality Stadium with really the first shot on goal. Lewis Cook's popped up with a couple now in the league as well. So really good to see him getting some goals from midfield too. King, Wilson combine again. King and Wilson are tearing apart this Everton backline. And there's Josh King. And it's 2-0 Bournemouth. A quick fire double. Hits Everton twice. Really, really nice link-up play again by Josh King and Callum Wilson. I didn't really even think we were going to get a chance from this, but these 2 are really going to hurt teams this year doing stuff like this. The question is, where do we put James Maddison now? Because these 2 have done bits so far in the episode. I tell you what, he's close to actually putting that wide, Josh King. Wow, that was actually closer than I thought it was. Oh my goodness me. It's a quick fire double and we've taken a 2-goal advantage here. His 5th of the season. And to be fair as well, that came from Everton putting a cross into our box and we counter-attacked pretty quickly. Jack Stacey with some fantastic work down the right-hand side that you won't have seen. Because like I said, I didn't expect the chance to come. It was really those 2 in the end that linked up to get us that chance. But Jack Stacey does need a bit of credit for it as well because it was some good defensive work from him. Richarlison skips past Adam Smith. And now there's a chance again to put a cross in. Ake just deals with it simply. But that's a good win back by Mampala. There's the shot from Sigurdsson. Blocked behind Everton corner. Ake started off this season really good as well defensively. Goes short towards Delph. He swings in the cross. Ake's there again. Doesn't get a great touch. Richarlison's shot off the woodwork and we don't clear our lines yet. The ball's still in our box. Balassi towards Delph. Straight to Bull and the ball's there though and Mampala will smash it home to pull Everton back into the game. Poor defending, really was. I was just highlighting Ake about how good he's been since the start of the season. He won't want to see that header again. And then from here, it's a poor effort from Delph really. Butler makes a good save, but after that, we just don't react quick enough. And Mampala smashes home. And in the end, Everton get the goal back. Hopefully, it won't be too costly for us. I believe as well, I've just seen there that Mampala scored 3 this season. So he's actually having a pretty decent start to this Premier League campaign. That will be it for the first half here from the Vitality Stadium. A 2-1 scoreline at half-time. Both teams seemingly up for this game. It was a quick-fire double from us that gave us a 2-goal advantage. A reply from Mampala, though, means that this one could go either way. So let's see what the second half has in store. 5 minutes to play of this game remaining. And in this second half, we have been pressed into our own half. And Everton will feel pretty hard done by if they don't get anything out of this game. It's been a tale of two halves, really, as Danjuma carries forward. Now got Maddison for support. Finds him with that pass. James Maddison has possession. Looks back towards Calvin Phillips. Phillips towards Danjuma. Really nicely worked. Can he finish? Yes, he can. Completely against the run of play in this second half. But Danjuma makes sure of the 3 points with this finish. And that, my friends, is going to do it. Tell you what, Everton really went for this in the second half. Pickford maybe should have saved it. But that's just what we needed. There is that full-time whistle from the Vitality Stadium. Bournemouth 3, Everton 1. It wasn't an easy second half, but we've come out of it with the 3 points as I shake the hand of Everton's manager, Marco Silva. And that is a big win, that, because, like I said, Everton were mid-table coming into this, and they actually gave it a really good go in the second half. Callum Wilson, Josh King combining for our second goal after Lewis Cook opened up the scoring. Mampala got one back for Everton, but Danjuma made sure of the points. I think that kind of shows you, because look at those match facts. 4 shots, 4 on target for us. Only 43% of possession. Everton probably the better team, but they've been beaten by 3 goals to 1 as we head into our post-match interview to see what we are going to be given questions-wise and try and get our squad morale up. Another good win for us, though, as we look to continue it into Southampton for our final game of the day. We'll see how that one goes at St Mary's, but first we have the interview. What are we going to get here then from our interviewer? Coming into this one, there wasn't much between the sides. Did you have any doubts? Same question that we got given against Leicester. And again, I'm going to say AFC Bournemouth always wins because that is the best one of the 3. Could today's game have gone differently? Like I said, the scoreline maybe was a little bit unfair to them. But I'm going to say the scoreline was unfair. We may as well, because I did just say that, didn't I, before it even popped up. And Mampala, sorry, was one of the best players of the opposition today. How difficult was it to block Everton's attacks? Well, we just played our game, because that's exactly what we did. And there is the interview done. Ahead of our final game of today's episode, we've been given an opportunity for a press conference, so we are going to go ahead and do this and try and get our morale to the highest it can be heading into kickoff, because I have a feeling this might be quite a tough game against Southampton at their place. Your season is off to a great start. Do you think your team has enough depth to finish the season at the top of the table? I feel like we just have to take it game by game. Of course, the whole squad will need to play a role. Anything can happen. I'm going to say anything can happen with that one. We've had a great start, but the season is far from over, and there's a long way ahead of us. Exactly what I was thinking. Next question. AFC Bournemouth won the last match with comfortable margin of 2 goals. Do you reckon that Southampton's morale is dwindling because of that? I doubt it, because we weren't playing against them. The lads played really well. They did. Let's throw that out there. Your side have had a bit of a mixed bag in terms of results recently. As manager, how have you reacted to seeming erratic path? I'm going to be honest, I don't think it's mixed bag. I feel like we've done pretty well. I'm going to say you'll see what we are made of. And look at our morale heading into Southampton. This could be very big for us. All my players, there you go. Look at them now, as that's going to boost stats as well. Maybe as well, do we start Maddison? Or do I just leave it as it is? Because we did really well against Everton, so in that first half. I think I'm going to leave it as is for the meantime. So here we go then for our final game of the day. Southampton at St Mary's. We're going to check out their team when we are in game. There's ours unchanged from Everton, looking for another big 3 points in a tricky away test. Let's see if we can get them. And if things had gone differently, we could have been taken over as Southampton boss, not Bournemouth boss. But you all voted in favour of Bournemouth. And here then is the Southampton starting 11. Angus Gunn starts in goal. Valerie Yoshida, Bednarek and Vestergaard alongside Bertrand. Højbjerg, Ward-Prowse and El Yunusi in the midfield with a front 2 of Defrel and Redmond. I can't say that I'd have put a different team out, to be fair, because I think the back 5 is what I would have gone with had I have taken over. And instead, we're Bournemouth manager, and this is our 11. Butland in goal, Stacey, Cook, Ake and Smith. There's an unchanged back 4. Unchanged midfield as well with Brooks, Cook, Lerma and Fraser. And the front 2, the nightmares of the defence, hopefully will continue today. Callum Wilson and Josh King. Time to get this game underway at St Mary's. Like I said, things could have been different if we'd have taken over. Instead, I'm looking to inflict defeat on them. Wilson finds Fraser, and hang on a second, because there's a breakaway on here for Bournemouth. Look at the numbers that we're getting up to support. Ryan Fraser, it's the last pass that we had to get right, and we didn't. Tell you what, Vestergaard there has surely saved Southampton from a goal. They were just attacking up our end, and all of a sudden we broke away at pace. Oh, Ryan Fraser should have found, I think it was Callum Wilson with the rod inside the box there from the right, and it should have been us taking the lead. Southampton have actually started off pretty well here. It's El Yunusi! Steve Cook goes over and blocks it behind. And from a chance where we could have been in front, we now have a corner to defend, and it's put in towards the box. Butland's going to come out, gets the punch away, and Josh King's going to get there ahead of Defrel. Here is Josh King, now finds Lewis Cook. Cook through to Wilson, offside flag surely going to go up. It doesn't matter if he finishes it, which he does. Offside flag will stop us going in front. I think it's the right decision. As soon as I played the ball with Lewis Cook, I knew Wilson had strayed into an offside position. The ball's in the net though, but it will not count. And Southampton have started off this game really strongly. They are trying to stop us playing our usual game. That's a poor ball towards us, and we've just given it straight back. Here is Callum Wilson. We've got a minute to play until half-time. Wilson towards King. Now this might be the link-up we were waiting for, but Vestergaard again is solid defensively as he stops that pass going through. This first half has been pretty tough. I will say this, I actually believe that this has been probably the toughest first half of football we've played so far in the series. As we are going to go in at the break, 0-0 against Southampton. I thought this might be a tricky game, and it's proving to be that way at the moment. Who in this Bournemouth side is going to be the one to step up and maybe get us a chance? Callum Wilson! Oh, what a save from Angus Gunn. Oh, what a save. Wilson's about to go off as well. We're going to be bringing on James Maddison and bringing off Wilson for him and moving Josh King up front. And there is that change, but what a save from Angus Gunn. As Wilson leaves the field of play, he could have had the goal there that would have given us the lead. And to be fair, it was one heck of a strike as well, but for a fantastic save. At the moment, we are being frustrated here at St Mary's. Here is Lerma, finds King. King towards Cook. Lewis Cook, what a touch! Lewis Cook! Oh, what a goal! Lewis Cook has just turned up with the goods. Southampton 0, Bournemouth 1. What a goal from Lewis Cook! It's now his third of the season. And this touch right here to take it past the defender. Watch this one. See you later. See you later, Vestergaard, who otherwise has been sensational today for Southampton. Lewis Cook just mugs him off. And Angus Gunn does not keep out that one. Get in. What a goal from Lewis Cook. As Ralph is frustrated here. 60 minutes on the clock. And finally, we have found the breakthrough. Lerma up towards Josh King. Southampton in search of an equaliser have just left themselves open to a counter-attack. It's 5-on-3 for Bournemouth as Lewis Cook now in the area. Pulls it back. There's the shot from Ryan Fraser. And it's 2-0 Bournemouth. And I think that's it. Cook gets one and assists one. And to be fair, both of those guys are actually going off now as well. Ryan Fraser and Lewis Cook are both coming off. We got Phillips ready to come on. And we got Dan Juma ready to come on as well. So the two of them combined just before they leave the field of play. And I think that will be it from St Mary's. After a very frustrating first half, David Brooks probably could have had the shot there, but he jumped over the ball. And Ryan Fraser gets... Is that his first Premier League goal of the season? It is. I don't know, man. Like, Ryan Fraser, I thought was going to be unbelievable for us. And that's only his first goal of the season. It's taken him a little bit of time to get it, but hopefully now he can kick on and continue to grab some more in the league. But yeah, unbelievable stuff. That's not good. That's not good from David Brooks as Armstrong now has possession. Unbelievable stuff from Lewis Cook today. He's definitely been the difference maker. And it's come from a Southampton attack, that as well. We are into added time here as David Brooks has possession, finds King. King towards Lerma. Pretty much going to be the last chance of the game. Jefferson Lerma! Straight over the crossbar, but it was worth an attempt. We're going to win the game no matter what, so may as well try it. It probably was closer to hitting the moon than it was going in the back of the net as Maddison wins that header, but it's not going to work out. And that should do us. It is 2-0 victors from St Mary's. First half didn't go our way, but the second half definitely did. Lewis Cook, I take my hat off to you because you were unbelievable in that second half. I want to get another look at this Lewis Cook goal. It's this touch here. See you later, Vestergaard. And then the finish is really good as well. Lewis Cook deserving of the plaudits that he's going to get after that performance. Time now for our interview then. And we can head into this high spirits. We've won all three of our Premier League games today. It's been a sensational episode for us. Let's see what the interview has in store. Hopefully, it'll be a bit different to the first two that we've done, because they were pretty much the same things. Brooks is continuing his hot run of form. How satisfied are you with his performance today? Let's go with must keep momentum. He's got to keep going, which is right about that. He's currently in my training. A special win to beat Southampton. How do you comment? Even more special, because we were going to be potentially taking them over. And I'm going to say we earned this result, and we did just that. A comfortable win after 2 goals scored by Bournemouth. Do you think the game could have gone another way today? I'm going to say we could have scored more, because, well, that might not strictly be true, but I want the morale. So that's why I'm saying that, because like I said, first half, Southampton made it very tough, and it could have easily been a 0-0 there. That, my friends, is going to be the end of today's episode. A massive thank you for watching. If you did enjoy the episode, a like would be greatly appreciated. As I said earlier, massive thank you for the support already shown on the series. If we can keep it going, that would be phenomenal. We'll be drawn against Bury, like I said, in round 3. We're going to be playing that next episode, probably simming it. But in the Premier League, after 3 wins on the bounce today, we are up into 2nd place for the first 6 games. But let's just see what happens as the season plays out. Like I said earlier, I don't know why EA haven't fixed it, why the top teams are playing rubbish players against anybody. Seems to be the same case. Man United down in 15th, Liverpool in 12th, Manchester City 9th. It's just stupid. So hopefully when the game officially releases on the 24th, there'll be a patch to fix that. But time will tell. Till next time, guys, if you're not already subscribed, hit the button below. Have a fantastic day, evening, whatever it is that you guys get up to today. Have a fantastic weekend, and I'll see you all tomorrow with another episode in the series. Until then, adios.